About that intro, eh? I watch the Canadian guys, they always say eh. I say it myself now. When I talk to myself, I say eh. I answer myself, I say eh. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was an intro by a middle-aged, computer illiterate dude. So anyway, yeah, it's for fun. Going to see Joe, the engine builder. Joe's good. He had the COVID. He's okay. Felt like crap. A couple weeks he took off. Got out and worked on the motor some more. Talked to him yesterday for a couple things to see how he was, see how my motor's coming. And got the heads on. Valve train came in, found the adjustable rockers. Push rods ordered and they're on. Didn't have the valley pan that goes between the heads and underneath the intake. That might be there today. Maybe a buttoned up engine. Yeah, so he worked. That was cool. I didn't know he was gonna, how bad he'd be. You never know. So, well, I'm not building the engine, the motor. I wish I'd have it in the car right now if I'd done it. That's a simple engine that I could do, line up the dot kind of deal, you know, and of course you got rings to file and cam to degree and no big deal either there. Built both the engines and the other two small blocks. So, Joe grew up around this. He's in his mid-30s, I suspect. Dad and uncle both built engines, had a dyno, and so this is his deal. And if you would have seen Joe sitting at a computer in a desk somewhere, you'd think, oh, Joe's a computer nerd. Well, he gets into engines like some people get into everything, like me into these cars and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, so thought, well, thought I'd run out of time. Didn't know how long this car would take to get done. Turns out I had plenty of time. Could have done it. It'd be in the car right now. Because once it gets back, then it gets painted. Pull the distributor, pull the balancer, paint everything, let it dry, and yeah. And then drop it in, which is a day deal. And now, since it's cold, we got to turn the car around, you know, lengthwise in here because we can't open the door and push it out because there's no room right here. So whatever. Taking the exhaust manifolds, I said, Joe, I'd really like you to tune this thing on the dyno. The exhaust manifolds on. He's got a set of headers he's going to use with 2-inch collectors, which means more airflow, more fuel's required for those headers on the tune. And then when you slap these things on with their bitty square ports here, should be running rich, I'm sure. Run just fine, just burn more fuel, could be a little bit better tuned. So I'm taking these over. These were the ones I used that Eastwood stuff and painted yesterday. I stuck them in my oven at 500 degrees for half hour, stunk the house up a little. Baked the paint on because, well, quite honestly, when we break the engine in on the dyno, these things will get a lot hotter than 500. I didn't want them smoking the paint off. I think normally you would warm them up and let them cool in a couple cycles. So the dyno will be coming up. I don't know that I can be there, which sucks actually. You know, you've never seen one in person. It's my engine, I'm paying for it, I'd like to be there. But anyway, you gotta break in the cam. This is a solid lifter, and this is the face of the lifter here. And on a new cam, it rides in there, and they got it made up, the cam and the lifter. So the base of this lifter has actually got a crown in it, and it spins, and that is for oiling. Spins the push rod a lot of times. You want to see everything spinning when the car's running. So the break-in period is 20 minutes to a half hour at 2,500 RPM. Why 2,500? The cam's lubricated by splash is part of the reason, you know, splash oil from down below. And vary the RPM, and then you shut her down, let her cool off, and then you go ahead and let it cool off, and then you do some pulls. And when you're doing the pulls, you're going to be seating the rings in the bore. If you remember, the bores will have cross hatches on them, and the rings will form they'll do their own thing. They move as well, but they set up in there. So anyway, we'll be going to Joe's later. Got my gaskets. The head pipes were on the car. Hopefully we can make this work, because I'd really rather just, you know, do this once and be done. Anyway, there we go. Well, it's later in the day. Beautiful sunset out here on the prairie in the land of Lincoln. You know, here's Joe's place. This is a machine shop. I want to clarify something. I said Joe would be a computer nerd sitting in front of a computer. And what I wanted to add was Joe's an engine nerd. I mean, this is his thing. And not to disparage the man whatsoever. Things can be taken the wrong way sometimes. I'm a car nerd, I guess. Mopar nerd. Anyway, let's go see what Joe's got going on in here. Joe's back there pressure washing. Here she is, a little 383, put back together mostly. Tins are on the front, waiting on the valley pan. There's my rockers. Gotta keep everything in check. Looks like everything lined up. No shims in here. Bushing. I had the block decked. That means you get these two planes right here so that they're parallel with the crank down below, right? Well, this engine's been apart, and when they clean the head gaskets off, in between each cylinders, they use one of those roll-lock discs. And they cleaned all the gasket off. Well, hell, there was literally, when he ran the deck through there the first time, to get everything cleaned up, there was low spots between most of the cylinders. Probably would have blown out a head gasket. Could have blown out a head gasket, I suppose. He's not a high compression engine, so yeah. Well, this is encouraging. This is encouraging.
Like it flat cut, I basically had to do like a little bit of a moon cut
On the inside?
On the inside, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, look how far it sticks out. I mean, it's been years for me to use one of these, but
yeah, I typically
don't use them.
I mean, on long stroke stuff, I know they don't frickin' work. But short stroke like this, it should be okay.
Well, they put them in all of them. I could have skipped it, I guess, you know.
It just took a little bit of touch up here and there, but it clears now. So.
Yeah. Oh, new push rod in there too?
I haven't put it in yet. Yeah, I see that. But yeah, new push rods and new push rod cam lifters, timing chain, oil pump, bearings, whole 9 yards. But
cool. I suppose when I paint it, don't worry about that. I'm going to pull a balancer and this distributor, I suppose, to do that, but whatever.
Yeah. Now this will be your zero. There's original zero. There's where actual zero is. About 12, 13 degrees off.
Shit, wow.
Yeah. I know Jeff ran into that on one he did. He come in, he goes, is 48 too much timing? I was like, 48? I was like, yeah. I said, if you had to put 48 in it to get it to run, something is wrong.
It was Drew's 451 is what it was.
Something like that. Yeah. I knew it was a big block of some type, and I forget.
The tab was way off on that thing.
It was like 15, 20 degrees, something like that.
So this is zero, but it's actually down there.
The pointer is actual zero now.
Wow.
That's how far that one was up. Mm-hmm. I double checked it even because I put the damper up there. I always put the damper up to verify, and I was like, "Fuck, did I bend or did I turn it and forget?" So, you know, because it was reading zero on my degree wheel. I was like, "Fuck, did I bump that and put it in the wrong spot or something?" So I pulled or loosened rockers up on that one and stuck a bump stop in there. And shit, it was dead on.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, this is way off.
All right, so that was kind of cool. Things are coming along. Oh, will the engine be done by Christmas in my garage painted? Probably not. So got done doing that, made a little Harbor Freight run. Got another, I have a set of dollies, gonna need 4. And the high dollar center pneumatic gun for spraying the engine. I got the dollies because it's 21 outside right now, I think. Normally we would push this car out of the garage to be able to get the hoist and hoist the engine in. Well, that ain't gonna happen if we don't want to freeze. So gonna have to put the dollies underneath the Satellite here and swing the thing 90 degrees to the middle of the garage, so we got some room to do this. And as an added bonus, right now the CUDA's down because I sent the MSD box in, but Joe went ahead and got busy and got the motor coming along. So hopefully my MSD gets done soon, and we'll wrap this, get this motor in, see what happens. Thanks for watching.